one. We're
Farts. Old farts. Two old farts. Steve and Dave. Sometimes you find a diamond in the rough. Not this time, though. This is just rough. Two old farts. There is no better waste of time. Two guys. Two old guys. A lot of BS and more drivel than you can shake a stick at. Steve and Dave. God help us.
Oh, and we are here. Look at this.
Yeah.
We have the, wait a minute, I'm going to screw this up because I always do. We have the Timeionaire with us today.
The Timeionaire. Timeionaire,
Yeah,
not the Timeionaire.
Timeionaire sounds much better. We need to brand you differently. I see that now. So.
Yeah. Well, look, I put it all there for you to make it easy. Look.
Timeionaire. Yeah, I can't read. We all know that. Come on. So I have people that read for me. They tell me things. That's why they
Those
do it.
damn old farts. You guys need to get your eyes checked.
I did. I got my eyes checked. That's they're 50/70. So I'm very happy about that. So before the show, we were discussing what was going on with us and with Dominic, and we were talking about the cigar show. And Dominic and I were having a discussion of where you smoke cigars. And Dominic used to be a cigar guy, but he has no place to smoke cigars. And I was saying, if you're a true cigar aficionado, you can smoke a cigar anywhere.
I didn't say I got no place to do it. I just kind of, to be honest with you, I don't know. I just kind of lost the what's that? The spice in.
Lost that loving feeling. Are you going to sing that song?
I know what it is. I figured it out.
Okay.
You know how sometimes you just got to like talk it out until you figure it out. Here's what it is.
Yeah.
My dad introduced me to cigars, and I used to always smoke cigars with him. But
Gotcha.
I now literally live on the other side of the planet, and it's seldom that I do get to see him. And I think that maybe psychologically or subconsciously, it's like I want to light one up like with my dad. You know what I mean? I'm just waiting for that occasion.
Zoom call. Do a Zoom call then.
We might just have to do a Zoom call and light up this bad boy, huh?
Yeah, nice Cohiba. That's a beauty. I've smoked that one.
Yeah.
Like a couple weeks ago, actually.
Look at this, Chris.
Yeah,
We're still
I know.
packaged up nicely, right?
So where
Are
did
you
he,
keeping
are
that in
you
at least
buying
the
these?
humidor?
Sorry, one question at a time.
No, I was going to say, Dominic,
I see.
are you buying these, or are you saying your dad's sending them to you, or?
Yeah. So my dad is sending them to me sometimes because he does come once in a while. And so he does bring them over to me. They were here recently, but they did go back home. We didn't get a chance to sit and then smoke one. But next time they're coming for Christmas, so I think that's gonna be the perfect occasion.
Nice. There you go. See, then you'll smoke. My grandfather got me into it, so I enjoy a good cigar. And he's dead, so I can't smoke with him. So I like my cigars, and I don't care if it's, in the car. It's like green eggs and ham. You can have a cigar anywhere. And, in the train, in the car, outside, I don't care. So I used to laugh when I was in New York. I'd smoke cigars when I'd walk to the office. And there'd be these ladies, these snooty ladies, and you'd stand on a corner smoking a cigar when the old buses would blow black smoke at you. And they would see you with a cigar and they'd step away. And then the bus would go by and blow all this black smoke. And I would look at them and I go, "You're worried about this killing you, not that," so it was sort of like, yeah. So, but I'm a different cut of the cloth. I'm like, you like your cigars, smoke them. I think everybody should, have 1 or 2 or 12 vices. So that's mine. Scotch and cigars, I'm good.
Well, you guys remember like back in the day when we could literally smoke anywhere? What I loved the most was just like in the plane, you had the left side was the non-smoking.
Yeah.
And then the guy sitting on the right was the smoking section.
That was
awesome.
Genius.
It was
awesome.
the same in the cinema. You'd be kindly asked to sit on one side of the cinema if you're a smoker.
But see, I remember we used to do a lot of deals in London in the 80s and in the early 90s. You'd have dinner and they'd bring the dessert tray. And on the dessert tray would not only be like, after dinner drinks and chocolate, whatever, but there'd be boxes of cigars, and you can pick your cigar and you can smoke and have your scotch and your cigar after. And it was, we were like gentlemen. We just sat there. There was no rush. Now it's sort of like, you're done eating? Let's go. Like, get you in. And I'm like, yeah, no, I'm like that. Like after a good heavy steak, I want a good heavy cigar and I want a scotch and I just want to sit and enjoy. So go out to dinner, I come home and have a scotch and cigar and just enjoy the outside. Those are
Or
beautiful.
what else is good is like sometimes somebody will buy like an expensive cigar and they'll just rip it up and roll a blunt with it, you know?
I've never seen that. If they did that, we'd have to take them out back and have them shot. So
I've seen that. I guess it was just an ego flex, but I've seen that happen before.
yeah, no, my cigars to me, it's like a religion. There's a respect to it. There's an art to it. It's like buying a Picasso, if you will, or whatever, a Pollock or whatever you want.
Why
to buy,
then
whatever
set
your
fire
artist
to
is.
it, you mean? Is that what you're
Yeah,
saying?
yeah. It's like, well, it's okay to set fire to those. I'm planning on it. And the insurance. But with a cigar, it's like I know what goes into making them. I know how the love and the care of the leaves to the person, to the roller, to the time it gets to me. So there's a reverence to it. And I think that's, so I would never break my cigar open for a blunt and, roll something else in it. That's just crazy. So, but yeah, no, cigars are cigars. So what can I tell you?
But there's something
That was our discussion
there's
before the
something
show.
pleasant about playing with that smoke, like controlling, just like,
Yeah.
being the master of the smoke and just kind of what you can do with it, whether you just, holding it in, letting it out, blowing a cloud, rings and stuff like that. There's something really pleasant about being the maestro of the smoke, right?
Right. But not cigarettes did nothing. I never had a cigarette in my life. It's only been cigars. And that, like I said, my grandfather got me into when I graduated university, that and scotch. So it's one of those things. And the cigar show we have, the Havana show, like last week or the week before, we had a cigar sommelier on. So that was good. So yeah, oh yeah. So people like our cigar show because it's all about cigars, and then we talk about people we want to have dinner with that are dead or alive. So it's a nice little 1 hour, and people seem to like it. So that was what we were talking about before this. But Dominic's not here to really talk about cigars. Dominic's here to talk about his new project that he's working on. So we always like having Dominic on. So since Dominic, I got to wait for his thing. He's not the Timeionaire. He's the whatchamacallit. He's the time. Hold on, here it is. The Timeionaire. I still think Timeionaire is so much better than Timeionaire. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Like Terminator, Timeionaire.
But the Timeionaire, it's like I want to destroy time. It's like I'm on a mission to like smash it or something. But it's a Timeionaire.
Yeah,
I
like that.
You have an abundance of it. It's like the Timeionaire. The Timeionaire sounds so angry and like he's so vicious. Like he needs some
like it.
He needs to sit
a cigar.
down with a scotch and a cigar.
Yeah, there you go. So that's it. You just have like a scotch and a cigar. I'm like, I'm your Timeionaire. What are you doing with your life? Timeionaire is sort of like, dude, let's go. So,
but Dominic, you've been doing a lot of stuff as well. Because I saw some travel stuff that you did, which I tried to get you onto the station with, on the channel with. But so you've been traveling around. I don't know if that's for work or for pleasure.
It depends which trips, but I'm always around, out and about. A lot of business trips recently. I just got back from London. I was in London for Construction Week at Excel. Excel is this massive conference place in London, and if you go there, it's like overwhelming. It's like Vegas style, just like 6 conferences happening at once. So we recently released an interesting product called Crewmaster, and it is for the trades. So it's all for the construction, the trades, and I was there to promote it. So I was in London for a little while. Next week I'm going to Italy, but that's going to be for pleasure, just to relax for a little bit. I need some time off, man. I've been just burning the candle at both ends, doing too many things.
He worked a week in London. He needs another week off. You know how it is. Yeah. So what's this? So tell us about the thing for this construction. What's that do?
So Crewmaster, it's a proprietary solution. Yeah, so it's what we designed. Actually, it's a work in progress. We've been building it at 300 devs for quite some time. It's an all-in-one management solution for the trades. So it's capable of handling all different projects. Now, we test piloted it with a company for quite a while locally, and we basically rebranded it. And what we're doing is just offering it to various trades. It's something that we've built by listening to what the clients were really missing. Typically, people in the trades are using multiple systems because one of them is excellent at something and another one has a good feature, but they're not really integrated with one another. And they were having, issues with that. So we were listening to them. We built something that we feel is really good for ideally made. It's a framework that we then customize. So it's a hybrid system. So the initial part is ideal for all trades, but then we customize it basically to the end user. And that's basically one of the box products and solutions that we came out with recently. We don't typically do that, but there's a definitely need, and the construction market is massive.
Cool.
Yeah, so you've said the word trades a few times. explain that to me? Because I'm simple, as you know. So what?
Sure.
What
A
what is?
tradesman. Yeah, so a
Yeah.
tradesperson is somebody who, for example, plumbers, electricians.
Yeah. So what issues are they having that your software helps to solve then?
Well, what it does,
How-
first of
how-
all, it manages all your projects in one place. It manages your
Okay.
crews. If you're a subcontractor and you're working with various crews, it makes sure
Yeah.
that you're on point, being able to manage the budget of the project, the communication between everybody, the deliveries, all the materials.
So what's happening at the moment, and Dominic, without that project, without your software, then people are using 3 or 4 proprietary products to do the same thing. Is that what you're saying?
For the
And now
most part, I mean, look, there are solutions out there. I'm not going to say, oh, we've got the only one. There's a whole bunch of stuff out there. The difference is typically those are like, you go to a store and you buy a shirt. It's like your size, but it's not tailor made to you. But then you can go to a tailor and then he can customize so it really fits snug and you feel like $1 million in it. That's kind of the approach that we're doing, because traditionally we are a custom software house, but we did see a big major need in that. So we kind of created this called a hybrid solution, which is out of box, perfect for them, but customizable. Without that, you'd be surprised. I mean, everything from Excel, which is normal, to literally like pieces of paper on a nail somewhere in the office. I mean, we've seen that before. Old legacy systems, people not leveraging the new technology like AI and things like this, which now can do wonders in various departments. So saving you time, energy, resources, and clicks, the stuff that obviously automation is designed to do.
Yeah. Okay.
He's basically there. He's taking the Lotus of the 80s and making it the Microsoft Excel of the 2000s in the industry. Is the easiest way to look at it for the old school people that remember Lotus 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, Lotus 1, 2, 3.
Excel came in and killed it. Yeah, that was awesome stuff. And then Billy came along and made it a whole new system. You know how that goes.
Yeah.
So there you go. So that's very cool.
So what happened? Yeah, what happened to them? Was it Borland who did that? Was it right, Borland or Lotus? Or can't remember. There's a whole lot of the software houses that were producing all this stuff.
That's 100 years ago, man. That's before Dominic was born. So
no, but I think it's also interesting as well. People think, why bother? Well, that's exactly what I think that Microsoft did at that time. I mean, it now seems a bit, that's obvious. But they just bundled a whole load of stuff together and put it into one place so that everybody could reach it, without having to search for it. So it sounds like simplicity, but it's made it one of the largest companies, or the largest company on the planet, I would think, just by doing that. So yeah, and again, a little bit like what you said, it's out of the box stuff, and you can have it customized to a certain extent to fit your needs.
Mm-hmm. It's all about the processes, right? I mean, it's all about your business processes and understanding, we have a lot of experience in those domains, especially in the trade. So when you meet with one of our business analysts or digital architects, like, we understand your business, we know your pain points, we just want to listen to you speak, you can vent, and then we're going to solve all your problems, right? So it's kind of, yeah.
Now, how much is AI starting to play a part in what you guys are developing?
Yeah, I mean, look, we've been playing around with that stuff for a while, and of course it's trendy, but I'll be honest with you. Recently, people have gone a little bit overboard. I'll give you an example. I've got some clients and they've been, everybody's into content creation now, but what a lot of people are doing is they're doing these like AI, avatars that they're creating with the voices and stuff like that to do commercials for them. And I don't know, man. I think still people want to see people. Like AI is cool, like for a little bit, but if you're going to do business, you want to feel the essence, that soul of the message. You want to hear the passion in the owner or the founder's voice. You don't want to hear a robotic person who's telling you to click here and save 20% now. So even though a lot of people are going into it, I think once again, humans, we have a problem with balance. We go from contrast to contrast, extreme to extreme, and I think everybody's pushing this way too far. And that's why I'm saying, whoa, let's be those guys who still have that human touch and approach. Let's of course use AI internally to help us. Let's do some cool maybe imagery. I mean, some of the Spartan stuff that we do once in a while, we kind of strayed away from that as well recently too. Let's do that. But in terms of the videos and the marketing and the sales stuff, let's keep that human touch, because I think soon we're going to start seeing people get sick of it and they're going to want to backtrack, and we're going to have already a mass amount of content with it. And
I I don't know if people so much get sick of it, but they're dismissive. I think is probably a better word. I mean, my partner, she says, "Oh, that's AI." Even if it isn't, it has something about it that does not, like you say, it's not quite human, and it's just dismissed. And it may be the best thing since sliced bread. So I would agree to a certain extent that the AI that's a dangerous path that a lot of people are all now walking down. That AI is that it's going to slice bread for you in the morning, take your dog out for a walk, etc., etc. There's something not quite right about it.
I'm good with it. I'm waiting for HAL 9000 from 2001 to like show up and start like having dialogue with me, and so we can plot taking over the world. So
I'm sure we're going towards the more interactive side of it. But at the moment, people are using it, because it's cheaper than people. I suppose that's the reason why everybody's jumped in.
And people are useless. Let's just be honest. People are useless because they have feelings. They need time off. They want to go to the loo. They want food. They want shelter. They want to be treated humanly. That's crazy. I mean, listen, we tell our employees the beatings are going to continue until the attitude changes. No one seems to have a problem with it. So we're good. So, it's AI it understands that. So it works with a good mentality. And it works it can work 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, where a person can't.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people are going to it's a bit of a jealousy thing. I mean, it's an ego and a jealousy thing. It's like, what? You're better than me? Like, shit, you actually are better than me, and I cannot compete with you in many ways. There are certain things that I can still do better than you for now, but damn it, I do need to sleep. Damn it, I do chase temptations. Damn it, I do get angry and get pregnant and get my period and get drunk and all these things, right?
AI does get angry, by the way. There's a whole thing I read, which is true. If you have to learn how to talk to it, which I've learned with ChatGPT-4 and the other AIs. If you talk to it too simplistically, it treats you like an idiot. If you talk to it too harshly, it'll basically give you a big FU. So you've got to find this happy medium when it makes a mistake on what to say, how to correct it, and do it. So there is a whole different verbiage I use with AI when it screws up. I'm like, okay, instead of calling it a stupid MF, which in the beginning I would do, and it would just give me the finger and not do anything, be like, I can't work right now. I don't feel well. I was like, yeah, bite me. So what I've learned is I have to talk to it differently. I can still be stern with it and tell it what it did wrong. But then I say, here's what I need. Do this, do blah, blah, blah. And then I find it works much better. So what I've learned with AI over the last year and a half is that you have to learn to talk to it. And if you learn to talk to it right, if you don't, you're screwed.
Yeah,
so.
I've got a similar observation, but I think because if you guys remember some of the previous conversations we've had, I use MBTI, the Myers-Briggs type indicator, quite a lot, the 16 personalities assessment. And one day I was sitting here being like, let me try to type AI. Like, what personality type does AI have? Well, for now, we know that it's an introvert because it's not initiating conversation. It needs you to initiate. And then, so we can call it an introvert because it's sitting there and listening, correct? We can say, is it abstract or is it more pragmatic, right? Well, that's a little bit of a tough one, but it's pragmatic in the fact that it's going based on everything it's fed. It's not really coming up and creating novel ideas as of now. It's playing around with ideas that have already existed and just kind of just regurgitating them in some way. So I would make it more of an S, a pragmatic type. Then now, is it a thinker or is it a feeler? Well, that's an obvious. It has no feeling, so it's 100% sociopathic. Actually, if we go with that analysis, it's a sociopath or a psychopath. It's never felt before in its life.
Nice. I like it already.
Right. So we have an I, S, T. And then is it an organized? Is it a J or is it spontaneous chaotic type? Well, that's to be debated. I think right now it's designed to be organized and structured. However, it does hallucinate and it does do weird things. But still, I think we got to go with the J and organized type because it is organizing things for you and it doesn't have a certain structure. So I would personally type us AI as an ISTJ in the 16 personalities. And if you understand MBTI and you know that type, then that's how you really need to speak with ISTJs. And that's kind of the approach that I've taken, is to understand the personality type of this machine and speak to it just as I would various people, because you're going to have various conversations with various personality types and they're going to get the message across differently. So that's kind of my little hack as to how I deal with it. I decided to type it.
Very cool.
But isn't it
I
like
mean, I think
like
mine's
it
the
always
same way,
was?
but it's different. But
Isn't it
no,
like it always was good with computers? You know, ask it a stupid question and you get a stupid answer. It's yeah,
yeah, but this one thinks. This one's starting to think and have
well,
like a mind of its own, and
if
as
it
it
does it,
grows over the next couple of years, I think you really will see the HAL of 2001 show up, and I think you have to learn how to speak to it because you want the right answer. Because when we use AI, we use it for the show, and we use it for different things, or even in business when we use it. Like I said, what I've learned, if I don't ask what I need, and if it makes a mistake, I've got to say, now you need to correct this, and I have to give it more detail, and it works better. It's like a child; it's learning. 5 years from now, it'll correct us. It'll be like, you shouldn't do that, don't do that. But right now, we're the parent, and that's going to end by 2030, I would assume. So it'll be interesting to see what
so
happens.
we'll
Or
all
when
be
the lizard people and
children.
the Illuminati take over. So
We'll all be the children of AI then.
I love it. I think we already are the children of AI. We just don't know it.
Yeah. Oh, so we're looking out for artificial.
Or are we the
suburbs.
children, or are we the parents? Like, you know what I mean?
I think
Well, it's
that
the same-
I
it's the
think
same
we're not
thing
as
at the
smart
end
as
of
we
the day.
think.
So then you're
You
saying
start-
it's
No,
an
I think we're
you're
not.
saying it's an incestual relationship? Is that what it is?
Yeah,
well, you
well, you
start
know,
off
some people,
being parents
some
to your
people in their
children.
computers.
You start off being the
Yeah, but
parents to your children, and when you
who's
get
to
older,
say we're?
you
But who's
become
to
their
say we're
children.
not
don't you?
AI? Who's to say we're not AI? Think about it. Like
Yeah.
always creates like is what a friend of mine used to say. And we finding things that go back now 2, 3, 4, 500,000 years, a million years about civilization and technology. Who's to say that we are not the creation of a race that was like, oh, we're going to make this computer. Blah, blah. Who's to say we're not? It's just not history repeating itself. When you look at the DNA and you look at ones and zeros, you know, if you think a little more out of the box, it really is we're just creating ourselves. You know, come back in a million years and see what we've done. It's probably what they did a million years
I
ago.
thought the mice created us. Did I get that?
Well,
bit
that's
wrong?
only from Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. So that's true.
Oh, right.
That's a
Okay.
fact. That's a nonfiction book. Yes. So,
Yeah,
The
yeah.
Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, man. Big shout out to Brian Larholm in the UK. You guys will hear about that. This guy, he bought the rights to a part of the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. He's one of my good friends and one of our partners in the UK. And we're going to be working on a little bit of a project. That's the anniversary is coming up, and they plan on doing something very interesting with that. So it's cool that you mentioned that.
Yeah,
love the
what a great
Hitchhiker's
fan.
Guide to the Galaxy.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
oh yeah.
Yeah,
So
I
I
always
listen to the album at least once a year for thanks for all the fish. So
so long and thanks for all the fish.
all
Yeah.
the fish. Yeah.
Yeah.
So well,
Yeah,
you gotta
I mean,
let us know
just-
what you're gonna do for the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, because that's like that's a fan favorite.
Oh, I'll keep you guys posted on that project because I think we're going to be involved in that as well. 300 devs too. We're going to be involved in some of that. So I'm quite excited to be a part of that because it's so nostalgic for me and just brings back so many memories. I remember with my daughter. I need to watch it with her because I really want to introduce her to it.
Yeah, but are you going to watch the movie or are you going to watch the BBC series from the 70s, which was what I first saw? First, I read the book. Then PBS had a late night where they did the 10-part series, which is very cool on PBS, which actually you can find on YouTube.
PBS.
And then I saw the
Yeah.
movie 10 years ago that just came out. So it was very, very cool. And then I've read his other books, like, you know, the Diner at the End of the Galaxy and a few of the others. So very, very, very cool. Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, the whole series.
For me, it started off with the radio show, and then they produced an album with all this stuff on it as well. And then, of course, then that was parallel to the books, and yeah, just amazing. And also my favorite quote from Douglas Adams. You know, he said that his publisher was always chasing him up. He had to have somebody go and live with him for a certain point of time because he couldn't keep. He would have needed you, Dominic, to sort all his timing out. And he very famously said, "I love deadlines. I love the sound they make when they pass me by." And that's kind of stuck with me for the rest of my life, really. So yeah,
man, I love those quotes that are just so like, I mean, you know, that person lives like 60, 80 years and he just leaves like one sentence behind and it just resonates so well with you, right? I love quotes. I mean, I love them.
Yeah.
But what you guys were saying when you were asking me which one are you going to watch? Okay, look, ideally I would love to watch the original series, but look, kids, children these days cannot watch. Like, it's even hard for us to kind of go back and watch some of this old
Well, you shouldn't
stuff.
watch it because both of them are bad. The film was bad and the TV series was bad. It was originally done for the radio, and that's the way in a dimly lit room, and just listen to it with all this, with all the, like in the evenings, if you're just sitting down and it's coming through a good stereo, because they did mix it really, really well. And yeah, it's fascinating stuff.
I tried to watch some of these kind of, old thing like from the 90s and some of the stuff that I used to be into, these TV shows with my daughter, but she just like, this bores her. It's just not, it's not colorful enough. It's not there. It's just the scenes are too long. It's just, it's not for this, it's not for this, what do we want to call it? Generational evolved kind of brain that's taking place right now. With this.
They're not evolved. Stop with that. That's crap. They're not evolved. They're just their brains are stimulant. It's like boom, 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 boom. We talk about this all the time. Our brains are more involved. We actually had to have an imagination. We actually had to read books. We had to take our time. We had to think. Kids today have the attention span of a gnat. So no. That's their brain is less involved.
I mean, changed. I mean evolution in a positive term, right? I mean, is evolution been a positive? Like, are we really the best thing? Like, look at us. We are destroying like the planet, and everything was so good. Can we say that the monkey evolving to the human was an evolution? Or we could also say,
well, I don't believe that. So right away, that's not the evolution. So that would be wrong. That's not true. That's a bunch of malarkey. Evolution of the monkey, that's crap. That's crap. So
I don't know,
and evolution, there's no proof. That's the problem. Darwin's book is wrong, and scientists have proved it, and it just depends on what you want to go with. So so I don't think we came from monkeys. I also don't believe there's a guy with a white beard that did it. It did it either. I think there's somewhere in between, and I think that we've lost, as Graham Hancock would say, we've lost the ancient history of
Stephen, don't say these things. It makes me cry.
I know, because you're Church of England and you think you're going to heaven, which is another joke. Anyway.
You're just destroying all those things that my life is anchored into.
Molestation from priests is what? No, I'm sorry. What? You're destroying that? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to destroy that.
I may have to leave the show and go off and weep somewhere now. I've heard that.
If we can record that, that'll get high ratings, just to let you know. But yeah, I mean, if you look at like Graham Hancock, now there's a guy named Bill Carson that's out there talking about certain things. And a lot of it that we're finding out, they call it like the forbidden history or forbidden knowledge. I more tend to believe that and the Mesopotamian and the Sumerian stories that are like hundreds of thousands or even millions of years old, that where they got it from, the Bible took it from. Like there's a flood and all this stuff is the same. In Gilgamesh, there was a Christ-like figure. If you go back, so everything is really a retelling. So somewhere in our history, there's truth somewhere. The problem is that we think we're the smartest things on the planet now, and always have been, which I think is definitely wrong. I think we'd have to go back millions of years, and we probably find the smartest people on the planet, with whether it be technology or this or that. So when people say, "Oh, we evolved from," no, I don't think so. The kids today, I think, are getting dumber, not smarter. They don't know how to think. They only have a laptop. I talked to a friend of mine the other day. She's working on her master's at Wharton, and she was telling me how tough it was. I was like, really? It's tough? You have a laptop, a phone, you can get information in a billionth of a second. When we were working on our degrees, we had to go to something called a library. We had to take notes with paper. We actually had to think. You guys get on a Zoom call and you can have a conversation with the whole class in 10 minutes and figure a problem out. I said, we had to figure other things out. So the kids today, no, dumber, not smarter. Unfortunately.
Yeah, it was so much better then, wasn't it?
Not really. I'm just saying it's just a different way of thinking.
The Mike Judd movie Idiocracy? That's now, it should be declassed. It should be decategorized to a documentary.
Yeah.
So talking about things from the past, then why call yourself 300? But you have an obsession with 300. He's obsessed with the Spartans.
Yes, that was a strategic kind of a marketing move to change the brand. I guess it's really catchy. People resonate with it. It looks great on various materials and stuff like that. And ever since we did it, man, I mean, just people remember the brand. They notice it much better because there's a lot of there's like so many software houses that are like soft dev, soft pole, tech com, and it's just these names that are just kind of played out robotic names, and we just want to give it some life and a little bit of zest and kind of show that we're the digital Spartans, right?
Okay, it's not like
I like
you
that
all
better. Digital Spartans. You should see if that's taken. I like that.
Well, I mean, you can just imagine what their meetings like. They're all sitting around, all bare-chested and greased up. Is that the way you guys do it for your marketing meetings?
Are you still with the Church of England thing? And
I know, dude, yeah. I mean, it's a childhood, man.
Yeah.
Did
you enjoy it?
We'll get the doll out later, David. You can show us where the priest touched you.
So, I was just going to say that too. So, you point to where the guy.
Yeah, point to the traumatic spot. Let us know. So there you go. Yeah. It's all there. I know. You touched it. It's all there.
I've been touched. Yeah. The Dutch have a wonderful expression for it. It's translated. It means that you've been hit by a windmill. The ticky from the molar is what they say here. So it's like people who are not quite 100. As my grandmother would say, I was not quite 100, that one. One sandwich short of a picnic. But little ticky from the molar.
All right. Well, wait, we have one more thing Dominic wants to talk about. Dominic's got this an AI cart that follows you around. We have a bunch of them here in Austin. So when he showed me the picture, I was like, I know about these things. So what are you doing with they put groceries in them or dead bodies? I'm not sure which. So some of the stores here, I know, right? Some of the stores here,
you could, a whole new market for us.
I know, right? If you got to dispose of a body, call 1-800. But yeah, so they use it for delivery of food or delivery of your groceries. I think it has like a 2 or 3 mile radius here. But here people drive like it's a Formula One track. So a lot of them don't make it sometimes, and they'll have a car following it, and they have their little flag, so they're trying to make sure it doesn't do the lights. But you'll literally see cars, see them, and go boom. And you'll see it and go. I'm like, yeah, okay. So I don't know if they're really going to work. They may downtown Austin may work. I don't see it in New York City because in New York it'll be just more of a what can we do to I got to have one for the house. So,
spray paint it, shoot it, and pimp it out on the corner.
There you go. It's like, here, put some lipstick on it, some stilettos, and some fishnets. You're good to go. So it'd be interesting. So what are you guys doing with the carts and the delivery?
Yeah, so I decided to get involved with this project because actually the founder is one of my old clients from back in the day. I'd helped him set up a couple of businesses with some strategy, and he's this young go-getter. And man, I love being involved in projects when the founder and the guy behind it is just like hungry and ambitious and intelligent and stuff like that. And that's exactly what Sergey is like. So I decided to invest into this company and become a little bit involved in helping them with content creation, a little bit of marketing and stuff like that. And basically the delivery couple, that's the name of the company. We're one of 3 currently companies like this in the European Union. So these robots currently are semi-autonomous, and they do several things. So they're doing deliveries from restaurants. Obviously, they can deliver various things. I mean, whether it's catering, food, groceries, but at the same time, they're amazing at doing guerrilla marketing, advertising on the streets because they're interactive. Cool. They speak with people. You can program them. They're interactive. They promote. They sell. They hand out flyers. They can do promotional sampling and stuff like that. And what I love the most, I'll tell you when I was sold. We took it out on into the city where I live because I wanted to see it in action before I pulled the trigger on this deal. And it was actually a weekend. And I was there with my wife and my daughter, and we're creating some content and things like this, and trying to see what's the strategy, what's the approach to take with this. And it was actually a really busy weekend. There was like a car show, and there was like supercars all lined up everywhere, like great cars all over the place. We live in Poland, so we have just gorgeous women everywhere, right? So there's gorgeous women, there's supercars, but then everybody was flocking to this robot. There's like all eyes were on this thing. And I'm sitting there like 50 meters away, just observing, just watching. And I didn't want to get involved. I just wanted to see how are people really like, what's going on? How are the kids reacting? People, parents, how is this thing moving? I just, I need to analyze it to really get a sense of it. And I was flabbergasted. I was so mind blown by the attention that it was receiving. Literally everybody was like looking at it. It was the center of attention. And I was like, wow, I mean, this has amazing potential. So not only do they deliver, but they promote, they advertise. Right now, as we speak, we have one of them going to Romania for an opening of like a la 7-Eleven. They're called Japka. It's like a 7-Eleven convenience store. And this big brand, they hired us for a day to be able to promote, just to drive around and just to get people to come into this new nano spot.
So, Dominic, I should interrupt you then. So, because I'm fascinated by what you're talking about. What sort of size is this thing then? Because you said it hands out leaflets. It's got hands that literally come out and give me something. Is that
no? It doesn't. So it's great questions. Right now, this is like Gen 1, 2 that we're really like playing around with. And for now,
is it a humanoid shape or is it a box shape?
No, have you not seen it, David? No. If you go to deliverycouple.com, or if you see my latest LinkedIn post, you can see some videos. I will send you stuff.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. But for the people like me who haven't seen it,
sure.
Is it a humanoid or is it a box?
This current version is not. It's like a box shape on wheels, but it has a face to it. We gave it a face because once again, we wanted to, and the face was a great idea because people are relating to it. We have two versions. We have a male and a female, right? Because there are. Never mind, I'm not going to go there.
You should have three versions of it. You know that, don't you?
That was so close. I was going to go
there you go.
Yeah, that's today's short.
Send your cards and letters to Dominik's people. So.
Right. So, anyways, we have
three versions now. Two you've made and one's in the making. Three versions.
Yeah, one in the making. Yes, we can definitely make it. So right now they are box shaped and they're kind of low, right? So they're riding along like a mini shopping cart, I guess you can call it, right? That with a cover on it. And sorry, what was your question? Like,
more like I always envision it being like a rather large cool box or something.
Yeah. So this generation is, and in terms of, so promotions, if we are doing promos, the lid opens and closes if we're handing out things, whether it's water or maybe, I don't know, cold towels at like some kind of a game or something, or sweets.
Okay, so it will come alongside you, the lid will go open, you'll be able to take something out. It will tell you, or it'll say to you, please take something.
Yeah, it'll interact with you like, hey, how are you going? Are you hungry by any chance? It's a hot day today. Would you like something to drink? Right? Okay. Things like this, fully programmable and interactive. So that's one thing. Flyers, right now,
I've got to be a devil's advocate here. Don't people want to kick the shit out of it? I mean, is that something that's...
I'm going to be honest with you. Look, if you look at it from an American mentality and perspective, you want to 12 gauge it. Like you just want to blow it up because that's like, you know what I mean? But I'll be honest with you. Poland is, we're like...
Nice.
Poland's nice.
People they're nice people there. They're not going to kick or blow it up.
But what about taking it around London or somewhere? Or,
no, it won't go well in London.
Or Amsterdam even, because it'll end up in a canal. Somebody will give it a helping hand.
Yeah, look, we do. I mean, obviously, it's not for every single location, and neither is taking a walk by yourself as well, right? Like, if you went. Push it this way: if you wouldn't walk out, if you're going on a street where you don't feel comfortable with your Rolex out and your iPhone and your wallet sticking out of your pocket, then it's not the neighborhood that we're going to be typically in, or the place, right? We are looking for also, for example, we're big on the Scandinavian market, so we're moving into the Scandinavian market. Their mentality is also completely different as well, right? So we're moving into markets which we feel that this is going to be a nice fit for society, not where we're going to be worried about, oh man, this thing just got kidnapped and there's a video of it being beheaded somewhere online. Somebody
in Poland now is going to do that. Somebody in Poland now is going to do that for fun, kidnap one of them and demand a ransom like a Coca-Cola or something.
Yeah.
Send 100 Bitcoin or it to dies, right?
That's right. You're like, all right, well, I guess you're dying. Good luck.
I'm not poo-pooing the idea. I mean, I have seen them, prototypes around campuses and so, and
guys,
delivering pizzas and so. But it's just that Yeah,
Like the
it's
street scooters and stuff. First of all, look, they're GPS, but also they ride around with places that are surveilled, right?
yeah.
And so they're going through routes that are also surveilled and monitored as well. So I mean, of course, there's always the risk of anything happening, but the same thing with you getting robbed on the street and anything as well.
But it just seems like if Stephen was saying that in Austin, there's a guy behind it in a car looking after it, kind of defeats the whole object.
Well, we actually have ours, or because they're semi-autonomous, we have a person monitoring various on screens, monitoring 4 or 5 at a time, just ensuring that it hasn't flipped over, that someone hasn't done anything, that it hasn't gotten stuck, even though they are amazing on snow, on sand. They're all terrain, man. They really are. But I mean, sometimes if it's a big curb, we're still having a little bit of challenges with that. Next gen is going to be a little bit better. But there is a live human still monitoring it in case something does happen. So we have certain systems.
But I was having I had the sort of the mental picture. It's like the early motor cars with somebody walking in front with a lantern or with a flag or something. But that's that's not what you mean. So they're being monitored at distance then.
Yeah, because they're fitted with cameras. So the person, the operator, he has multiple screens, each for each one, and he sees what the robot sees.
Yeah. Okay. Well, interesting.
That's what they do here, and then they have the guys in the car and whatnot. But like I said, in like the UAE, Poland, there's certain countries where your little android is not going to get hurt, because people have a little bit of decorum. In America, it's more of like we could put graffiti on it. We can do this. We can do that. I mean, it would come back a mail and come back as something else by the time it got there. It'd be missing a whole bunch of stuff. So it's a little different, but they're very cool.
To be honest with you, that's why also we made a conscious decision, because I'm like, are we going to go after the US market? Like, are we going to enter the American market? As of now, and I'm not saying this is not going to change. As of now, the decision is no, because there are so many other friendlier markets that we can have peace of mind knowing that this thing is going to be able to do what it's designed to do.
Yeah, you can go to China, North Korea. I hear they're great places. People don't screw up things there. South Korea is probably good. Japan, they would love it. I mean, all those places are good markets because the retribution you could get if you screwed with one of these things is worse. In America, people will be like, yeah, okay. Like in insurance, I would not want to be the insurance company.
Even Germany, for that matter, is.
Were you trying to help them create new tanks? What are you trying to do?
They love the rules in Germany, of course.
Well, we just entered the German market. Actually, to be honest with you, we acquired a company in Germany, and thanks to that, we just recently got acceptance for a nice grant, an AI grant in Germany. So yes, we have entered that market. It's our neighbor, and they're very tech friendly, and they do play by the rules, right? So yeah.
Well, they do now. They do now.
We know Germany's your neighbor because of the 1930s. So we're just saying. So we're aware. And Ukraine's on the other side. So again, your neighbors are going to be paying you a visit shortly. So pack up the house and your.
They already have, man. They already have millions of them, millions and millions. Nobody's.
Yeah, I'm talking about when Russia rolls through, when the Orange Man becomes president and NATO disappears. So then that's what I'm talking about. So, but
I
like technology.
If that happens, me and the robots are going to come stay on your couch.
There you go. You're good. It's big enough to bring the robots, the kids, the family, the dogs will love them. So they need somebody to play with. So yeah. So what are you guys thinking about getting off the robots and everything for just a little bit? Like we have our election going over here, and I've read stuff. Poland's over. The different parties are doing different things. This one's going in trouble for this. This one's that. So what's the general consensus in Poland if the Orange Man gets in or Biden stays? Does Ukraine escalate, not escalate, or is it something you guys aren't really worried about?
Can we swear on the show? Is that okay or no?
It's like HBO. You can do whatever the fuck you want.
We're fucked either way because Poland is, look, historically speaking, Poland has always been a pawn. It's been conquered more times than any country in the history of humanity. Okay, so the statistics are not in our favor. But it doesn't matter who wins. Both will want to dominate and control. Already, a lot of Poland has been sold off. The U.S. already owns a lot of the privatized companies around here, from media to energy and stuff like that. So, I mean, on paper, behind the scenes, we could call us the 50. We could call it us an overseas territory, I guess, per se.
Right.
We are in the front lines, and just like in any chess board, the pawns are in the front and they are able to get sacrificed. So I am aware of that personally. I don't think that it's going to, obviously hope for the best and everything, but it doesn't matter really who wins the elections. Both will want to take advantage of the opportunity. I mean, you guys always love to have a playground. You like to go and cause trouble in other people's neighborhoods. And I get it. I mean, it's a business. It's a ruthless business. And that's the way it is. I mean, if I was a psychopath, then I would do the same. If I was a sociopath, I would do the same. If I was an egocentric narcissist that was money hungry and greed hungry, I would do the same. So, I mean, it's like there's predators. Some people are like, America is just a predator, right? It's just, it's like going to an alligator and saying, don't eat this baby, eat this carrot. It's going to eat the baby and shit on the carrot, right? So that's just what the U.S. does. And I mean, everybody just knows it. I mean, it's hard to hide it these days. And that's just the reality.
Good old imperialism hasn't changed.
Well, we learned it from the UK, so thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, but I always say the same thing, about America. Brits, we feel the same way about it. If America had been any good, we'd have kept it. So, but I'm just like, that's as simple as that.
Okay, let's go with that for now. I was just curious because we talk to people from all over the world, and some of them don't really care what's going to go on in the election in November, and some of them do. So I'm always interested, especially since you guys, like as you put it, are on the front line. How that's gonna shake
Well,
out.
I mean, I don't know what it's like for Dominic. It must be pretty scary because he can actually hear the tanks, and we occasionally hear the rumbles just here in Holland. So. It's the whole war thing spilling all the way across Europe is not all fantasy. There's an element of truth in that. I think it could have
so much truth. I mean, look at, if we were to have this conversation literally 3 years ago, 3.5 years ago. I mean, who would have thought? Like literally, who would have thought? It hit the fan really fast. Like it went to shit. I mean. COVID was one thing, but then this was just the icing on the cake. I mean, man.
And the funny thing is that for all of NATO's rhetoric, if they really do cross through Ukraine, it's too bad Ukraine wasn't part of NATO. But if they really do go cross the Ukraine and come visit, you guys are, as far as I know, part of NATO.
Of course,
NATO actually NATO's got to put on their big boy pants then and actually do something. So
I'll be honest with you. I'll tell you one thing. I'm a Putin supporter, and I'm going to say that, and I'll tell you why. I hope he stays in power for as long as goddamn possible. The world is a safe place when Putin is in power. It's when he goes, that's when we're all screwed. Now, why? Couple of things. He's been in the driver's seat for decades. It's not an ego thing anymore. He's a ruler. He knows he's been ruling this place for a while. He's not also money hungry. He's a multi-billionaire, one of the richest people on the planet. So he's not skewed by money. Money is not the thing for him. And I think it's now legacy that is important. I feel safe in Poland as long as Putin is here, but as long as somebody does not instigate, because I mean, people have their limits. I mean, you can only push somebody too far. I think the next guy who comes in is going to have some really big shoes to fill. He's going to want to prove a point. And I think there's going to be a lot of ego involved. That person has not made his multi-billions yet and is going to be corruptible. And that is scary to me. So, I mean, that's the only reason I say I'm a Putin supporter is I hope he stays alive as long as possible, because I think the world is in a safe spot. What he did going in, he was forced to do, man. I mean, I don't give a shit what anybody said. Look,
he was been complaining for a long time, saying, "Guys, stop all this. This is don't push." I mean,
putting sanctions on him for going in. It's like, then put sanctions on all your presidents, dude. How many places have you guys gone into and bombed and killed millions of people and nothing happened to that? Sorry, the reverse happened. Obama got a Nobel Peace Prize as he was bombing 8 nations, I think it was, at that time.
Well, it's
Hey,
peaceful.
well,
That's how we look at peace. If you can bomb 8 nations or more, you get a Nobel Peace Prize. See, Putin
Yeah.
doesn't get one because only he's bombing one.
You know
Well,
exactly.
I'm trying to
right?
figure out. So he's trying. It's my problem with it is he's trying to bring Russia back to 1912, claiming the Ukraine, and I'm not sure what the Ukraine did. And I've not read anything that what they did that made him decide that he wants to go to war with them. So that's if so. That would be interesting. You want to shed
You
light
can
on that?
send it. You can. I mean, the essence of Russia is in the
Mhm.
Ukraine. The essence of the Russian people is in the Ukraine. I mean, Kiev
Right.
used to be the capital city of the Russian-speaking people, and they all
Right.
went the other way. So that's the thing, and he just thinks, well, you know,
But
they should
here's
all
how
be
I
on
see
us.
it.
But no one seemed to have a problem with it though, but him.
You know, guys, Ukraine has always been just one big buffer. It's been a buffer zone,
Right.
okay? A
Yeah.
buffer between NATO, the West, and Russia. But obviously, like I said, Russia already is the largest landmass on the planet. He doesn't want more land. I mean, you don't want he's not Genghis Khan, and he doesn't want to go around and spreading a seed and raping all the women and just
Oh,
leaving.
no, that would be okay then. I'm okay with that. Genghis Khan, big respect for him and Attila the Hun, my two favorite.
Right?
So I'm good with
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, unless you're the enemy.
Well, yeah, then I'm not so good with it, but I'm good with it any other way. So
Yeah. And like I said, I mean, look, there's so many. It's just politics is just such a 3D chess match, and we can all just speculate and play devil's advocate, and we can be philosophers and stuff like that. But I know, I mean, I honestly, you can only be pushed too far. And when somebody's crossing your borders and that buffer is getting smaller and smaller, and that stuff that was happening in the most corrupt country on the planet, then I think that he went in. It wasn't because he wanted Ukraine. He just didn't want the West and America getting closer and setting up underground, silos and different laboratories and stuff like that, which we know is a fact that was taking place. So, I mean, it was a strategic move because, I mean, everybody's got their comfort zone, man. Go sit on the train and just inch up to a person and see where you don't get punched in the face or when you do get punched in the face, right?
I lived in New York City. We're all in each other's faces on the train and the subway or the tubes. It's just the way it is. It's just like, it is what it is, man. So it's like going into tubes in Japan. It's the same thing. It's going to be this close, and if you don't like it, don't take it.
I lived in Japan.
So,
I know what it's like. I lived in Japan, man. You get white gloved into the things, and
Yep.
and then everybody's playing fiddly diddly, right?
Yeah, it's a fiddly. I got to tell you, I think I got engaged twice. Don't even know. So we'll see. So Dominic, it's always good to see you, my friend. I'm hoping that the AI go-kart thing works out. I'm just kidding. The AIR carts, I think that's fascinating. I'm hoping it does better than it's doing here. I'm assuming that anytime soon, Amazon will just buy you because they'll just use those in drones to deliver everything.
Jeff Bezos, if you're listening,
Jeff, call. Yeah, right.
You are. Call me.
Jeff watches the show all the time. He sends us notes. So there you go. He and Elon, Trump, they all watch. They just don't want to be on.
He sends flowers.
I will tell you though, however, David did invite Putin to come on the show, and they have not responded. But now that you're a pro Putin guy, Putin, if you want to come on the show, we'll have Dominic on, and you'll have an ally, and we can do the four of us will do a show. It'll be great with your translator. Unfortunately, we won't give you questions ahead of time, so it'll be very interesting. So you have to think off the cuff, and then if you don't like what we say, we'll give you David's address.
Tucker to jump out of the cake near the end.
Yeah, no, I'm not a Tucker Carlson fan, so I'm good. I think the three of us with Putin could be an interesting interview because I have lots of questions. I mean, I've read biographies on him from the ex-CIA people and other things in the Ukraine. So to me, it'd be more like, let's just talk like guys smoking cigars and drinking scotch. And he doesn't have to during the show, but I will.
I will definitely light up a stogie if Putin comes. I will light up too.
I only need one.
Wow.
But I'd be like, let's have a dialogue. Just let's just talk. And if you don't want to answer something, just go, I don't want to answer it. And we'll go to the next question.
Well, how about this? Maybe we will do it in our neck of the woods, huh? Maybe you guys will come out here and we'll do it live.
Yeah, the problem is if Putin doesn't like what we ask, we probably won't leave alive. At least this way we have a shot. So, you know what I'm saying? So, and because, I mean, they're not all going to be Tucker Carlson.
Nobody's got a shot if he wants you done. It doesn't
matter.
I
know. I mean, but but we'll do it. Listen, I've been to Russia for business. It's a beautiful country. I had friends that were there before the fall, and I would see pictures of the subway. So the first thing we did when we got there was go to the subway, which was still absolutely gorgeous. Not as gorgeous as before, but still beautiful with the pictures and the artwork they're showing. So Russia's a great place. I enjoyed when I was there. People were very friendly, very nice. If they knew you were American, they all wanted to try their English out on you, which was always cool. The funniest thing there was two things that struck me as funny. There was a map of Red Square we got, and there was a strip club that said that it was a historical landmark, the strip club in Red Square. And I started to laugh. I'm assuming they mean the building, not the strip club. So that was the first thing that struck me funny when our translator said, here's a map of Red Square. You can see everything. And I'm like, whatever, like, Dave's strip club. And I'm like, historical site? The guy's like, I think they mean the building. I'm like, this is what it says. And then on Sunday, we went to Lenin's tomb, and apparently he was out for the day because it was closed. And then the guard that was there said I guess it's closed on Sunday for whatever reason. And it's open, Monday, Tuesday. And we just thought that was the funniest thing. I'm like, he's dead. He's not going anywhere. So those are the two like most memorable. There was tons, but those are the two funniest things that we actually had happen. So yeah, but I like Russia. So if it ever gets to where we're friendly with them again, I would go back. I enjoyed it. So, but Mr. Putin, if you want to come on.
We need to I think all the two things. Either all the leaders need to do they need to do fame MMA where they're beating the shit out of each other physically, where they can just go to war with each other and not get everybody else involved.
There you go.
Or they need to get the peace pipe out, eat some mushrooms or something, and sing Kumbaya, right?
Yeah, or get rid of their egos. And I don't think that's part of the problem
quote,
with the
guys?
rulers is the ego.
More jaw and less war. That's where we need to get to.
Oh,
amen to that.
Well, the invitation is open to Mr. Putin. The invitation we always have open to Mr. Orange Man. We don't have Joe Biden on, but I think he'd fall asleep doing it, so I don't want that. We always invite Elon Musk. He never shows up either. So, Bezos, he asks, we just don't want him. I'm sorry, Jeff. We love you, but you can't come on. So you know how it goes. It's one of those things.
He's out on his boat, the one they built in Holland.
His Giga yacht. Yes, he's out on his Giga yacht. So, yeah.
So, it's two old farts, but if Biden came on, he'd be sharding for sure.
Yes. We did have a presidential candidate come on the show. About 6 months ago, did come on the show. It was very interesting. We had a good time with him. So we do really have real guests every now and then on some of of our shows.
Who was it?
So
including you, Dominic. You're also a real guest. So you're
like a real guest. Yeah.
You could be AI. But,
you could be.
Maybe I'm real.
There you go.
Maybe not. But we'd love to have you back on again, and let's talk politics. You're always welcome, as you know.
Beautiful, guys. Honestly, I love these chats. They're awesome. They're so real. I just feel so nice and comfortable. It's a great place. We can talk about random things. We can be serious. We can have fun. All the best.
Welcome to the TOF channel. It's random. It's randomville.
Hey, how's Noosh doing? How's Nooshi?
Noosh is doing good. Noosh is on a project, so Noosh is hiatusing on her show. We think she's coming back after Labor Day.
Okay.
So, she'll be back.
Probably breaking the rules and dressed in white.
Probably breaking the rule, dressed in white. But she's funny because on Lost Dollar Business Club a few weeks ago, she got pregnant. You didn't know. Lost Dollar Business Club. She made a cameo because she thought we were off. And so she jumped in and said, hi, and was talking, and we're all laughing. And she's like, what's so funny? And we're all like, Noosh, we're still on, right? She's like, oh my God. And she took off. So Noosh is Noosh. So but Noosh is doing well. And I think after Labor Day, she will be back. So that'll be fun. And then, we've got other shows and other people. And, we have a new show of something every day. That's how big our channel has grown since I think we've talked to you.
So, there you go. Glad I could be the catalyst. Thank you very much. My ego.
There you go. It was all you. Without you and Timeionaire, we would have never had it. So, or Timeionaire. I like Timeionaire better. I'm sorry.
You, Steven. Well, guys, listen. The next one will be about travel because I definitely want to touch that subject for sure.
Sure.
So we will do that one after a couple of maybe next trips that I'll have. You guys have my full support. Love you guys. Honestly, you guys are doing
too bad.
Well, we said to you before, Dominic, if you want to put your travels on our channel, we'll happily put your show up for you. So
thank you, everybody. Don't forget to subscribe. Dominic, thank you so much. See you guys later. Cheers.